Guys, so for those of you that can't tell by looking at it, I'm in the middle of doing the GSXR conversion on my SV. I didn't take that much footage of this part because one, it's already been done. Two, there's so many different variations of the swap that it's pointless to try to make a how-to video. And three, it's pretty straightforward. It's the stem nut, a couple lock nuts, the triple, the bearings, off with one, on with the other, and then reverse order. So this is the part that I usually like to watch, or that I take notice to when anybody posts pictures or videos of their swap, is how they have the setup for the headlight, the blinkers, and the speedometer, and that kind of stuff. So that's why I decided to start making videos. On mine, I figured while I was at it, I'm going to do the Yamaha R6 caliper swap and master cylinder swap while I'm at it. So that's what this video is going to be about.
So on the Yamaha calipers, the locating dowels are pressed in to the bottom of the calipers, and the dowels on the gixxer front end are in the forks. So I pulled those out, and now I'm just going to try to molest these out of here with a pair of channel locks, I guess. If it doesn't work, you'll see me trying to do it a different way. So these pins are used, because why wouldn't they be? All of it's used. So I just stuck it against the wire wheel to clean up all that little surface rust and that little bit of corrosion. And then gave it a light buffing with a wad of pubic hair. So I had to pull those little dowels out, those locating dowels. And when you're doing the Yamaha brakes on the gixxer swap, you got to use these little spacers from TWF Racing, just so the pads locate in the center of the discs. I'm just going to try to give these little taparoonie. So I've got to mount my master cylinder so I can measure for brake lines. I painted the little brembo B red, trying to church it up a little bit. It's for shits and giggles. But I don't have whatever this plastic piece mounted to, and even if I did get it, I'm not sure I want this big donkey dick swinging around on the handlebars when I get it together. So for the sake of trying to keep everything stealthy, I'm going to run to the hardware store and try to do this little trick I've seen guys on little cafe bikes and shit do, where you just get a clear tube and then cap the top of it, and then you just got the little tube sticking up, try to keep it sneaky. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I got to get the brake fluid out of this first. So let me find something to put it in and we'll do that. Jesus, looks like coffee. So I got the master cylinder mounted, and then I got it hanging from the ceiling just enough to let the suspension sag. So now I'm going to take some of this wire and bend it to mock up some brake lines for it, and then I'll take them off and measure them. That's the best idea I got. So the guy that sent me the master cylinder had this fastener stuck in the bottom of it so it didn't leak everywhere when he shipped it. So I'm just going to use this to make a loop to hold it while I do the caliper side. These off, measure them with a tape measure, and then send for the Coromotos. Pretty fucking sweet, dog. And they're fine. The only thing I'm mildly worried about is, and it's not really that pad dragging, it's the fact it's kind of eccentric. And I'm not super worried about it. I don't think I'm going to die. There's just nothing like doing a performance upgrade and then have it being worse than stock. And I'm going to have to start troubleshooting what's going on. Just makes you want to go home and sit in the bathtub and smack your wrist with a steak knife kind of thing. I rigged up this little setup, which looks super sketchy. Alright, so it's fairly well sorted. I'm just going to do this one a couple more times just to get the fluid level down to where I'm going to cut the hose off. Had me worried though for a second. I just couldn't figure out why that was taking so long. Not that it took forever, but I was worried for a second, just thinking the guy from the R6 group sent me a master cylinder that needed to be rebuilt or something, or what. I didn't know what was going on. But she's alright. So I'm going to do this a couple more times, and then once that level gets down to where I'm going to cut the hose off, I'll bring us back in. Alright, so now it's just a matter of getting this onto these. And for those of you sitting there watching this thinking there's a tool for that, I know there is, and I have it. Just in the middle of moving, and I don't know where the fuck it's at. I'm headed over to my father-in-law's house to work on the bracket, so I'm going to cut it right here and chalk it up to be in phase 1 in the books. So I'll edit this and put it up, and then I'll start editing the stuff from
when I go fab up this bracket. I actually forgot my tripod, and I'm not going to take a million takes. Like, I'm trying to get it done, and I don't want him to have to stop and start over and deal with all the hassle of trying to make a YouTube video of this bracket. So there might not be a whole lot of footage, I'm not sure. But so this is the end of one, and then the next one it'll be whatever I can grab from fabbing the bracket, and then probably rattle canning it and mounting it, and putting the headlight and the speedometer on, at least mounted, and maybe wiring it up. I'm not real sure, but it should follow close behind, because I'll have all the footage for both of them, from getting everything from just having the front end on to all what I did, and then of this bracket. So stay tuned.